It's been a year since the arrest of accused CEO killer Luigi Mangione, who pleaded not guilty on all charges. He's had devoted fans standing outside of court and received over 6,000 letters in prison. It's not the first time we've seen this during a high-profile case, but what do you think is happening here?
I think that there is a certain type of woman, girl, who loves a bad boy. It seems like they just go for a bad boy. And so the Menendez brothers, for instance, very popular. Even Charles Manson, that faccia bruta with an X on his forehead.
I thought you were going somewhere else with that.
Attracts women.
Yeah.
Maybe you know, because you know where they are. Maybe that's part of the charm.
Well, this got a greater response than just women writing love letters in prison. This was like an uproar of support in the moments after this murder was hit the headlines. And I think it's a scary place to be when systemic injustices are projected onto one individual, which dehumanizes that person and the victims themselves. It's a scary place when rage can blur you so much that you've lost all forms of empathy and humanity for other people. I think the really sad part about his story is this guy was privileged. He came from a lot of money. He graduated summa cum laude from UPenn. This person could have been a change maker in the world. He could have actually effectuated change, and yet he opted to murder another human. And so I think if he's this proud of what he's done, which, you know, he seems to be very proud, we don't know of his remorse on any level. I think he should serve his time with his head up on his shoulders, because he could make a difference in prisons. There are people there that didn't have a better chance. Not that I'm justifying the crimes they committed, but this kid had potential, and he chose this road. So serve your time and quit having your defense lawyers try to weasel you out. You made a choice, serve it.
You know, your psychology doesn't necessarily line up with your intelligence.
Well, I mean, the thing is, civil societies, like, we are not a society of vigilantism, and God forbid we ever become that. And you can have any sort of critiques you do of the American healthcare system, anything, but at the end of the day, a father and a husband was brutally gunned down. And what I find is, Rich and Sunny could speak about this, is right now, the defense team is doing what it should be doing. They're trying to get this critical evidence thrown out that includes his manifesto about the healthcare system. That is their job to do that, but all the while that they're trying to get that thrown out to make him have a stronger defense, he's responding to love letters that are critiques of the healthcare system and about what he did. And that, to me, just doesn't even out. It's like you either stand by what you did, to your point, with your shoulders up and your head held high, or you admit that you did something egregious and horrific and you serve the time for the crime you committed.
Because that CEO got killed, there'll be another one. It's a cog in a system.
Yes.
Like, there will always be another one.
You know, I think the system is doing what it's supposed to do. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty. That is our system here, and I think that needs to be that needs to be expected. And I do know these defense attorneys. Actually, I know Karen Agnifilo extremely well. She is the best of the best. And she was a former prosecutor. And so I know for sure that he is getting the best defense. And don't we want that? I think we do want people who allegedly murdered a CEO, a young person with all the potential in the world, to have a defense. And so that if he is convicted, he is rightfully convicted, because that's the type of country that we are. We're not this sort of banana republic, or we shouldn't be, that throws people out of this country without due process, right? But let me say this, you know, the evidence in question is sort of this backpack that he had on. And when they arrested him, they immediately searched the backpack. Yeah. And as a reason, they said it was because they thought it had a bomb. Oh. Now, the Fourth Amendment to our Constitution says that you cannot be unreasonably searched, your body, your home, your effects, which would include a backpack, unless you have a warrant. And they did not have a warrant, but they did have this reason. You know, we think there was a bomb, but they didn't. It was at a McDonald's, and they didn't evacuate the McDonald's. So if you really thought, Miss Police Officer, that there was a bomb, you would have evacuated.
So that's all
you would have evacuated,
appeal, right?
So it could be, and
so
it could be grounds to get rid of
a gun if they're arresting someone.
They can. If they say, you know, do you have anything pointy? Usually during an arrest, they'll say, do you have anything pointy? Do you have anything that can harm me? Do you have a gun in that backpack? And then if the person says yes or no, it doesn't matter.
Do you trust someone that says, no, I'm
No,
good?
but I'm saying it doesn't matter. You take that backpack and you can search it. Okay. In this instance, she said they were searching for a bomb, but that doesn't make sense because they would have evacuated the McDonald's. So you can't use a lie to conduct a search, because this country is not that kind of country. So all that
well,
to
it
say,
is.
I'm not saying that he didn't do a horrible thing. I'm not saying that he's been found innocent, but I am saying that let's let the process work the way that it's supposed to
And
work.
let's not forget, if you don't like the system, do something about changing it. Taking somebody's life is not going to help because there is now another CEO in place.
That's
So
true.
the real thinking here should be, how do I affect change to
Correct.
this? What do I do? How can I complain? What do I do? Because the minute you pick up a weapon, you are the problem.